Hello, I'm Joel Hargis with the Florida Aviation Network. We're here at Sun and Fun, the 52nd year of Sun and Fun here in Lakeland, Florida. I'll tell you what, it's an unbelievably beautiful day. If you're not headed this way, you ought to. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like it's going to be a great week. And so we're kind of focused on safety here today. We try to teach a little few things. And I've got a great guest with me today. With me today is Mr. Phil Lockwood. Welcome.
Hello, Joel. Pleasure to be here.
We're glad to have you. So, Phil is an expert on certainly Rotex and a lot of things involved with LSA. I mean, you're probably one of the most expert, knowledgeable guys in that category.
Well, I'm still learning, but a lot of experience over the years with the Rotex engines, absolutely.
So, you know, we've been sitting here discussing a little bit, getting ready for showtime, and you taught me a whole bunch of stuff in the last 10 minutes about how LSA is evolving to what they're calling Mosaic.
Yeah, Mosaic is going to allow for the expansion of light sport aircraft, and so it's a big change
Yes,
based on the safety and performance of the light sport aircraft that have been built over the past 20 years or so. I think the safety record is very close to that of Part 23 airplanes.
Right.
And so the FAA has decided to expand that. And so you'll see 4-place airplanes now included. Now, a sport pilot will still only be able to fly with 2 people on board, including the pilot.
Right.
Right. So
Him plus one.
yes, so they could fly one of those 4-place light sport aircraft, but they could only take 1 passenger with
You'd
them.
have to have a private license.
Yes, private license would then allow you to fill all 4 seats. So the pilot requirements and the airframe requirements are different.
Yeah, but they're really expanding the airframe requirement, like speed. You were talking about north of 200 knots?
Well, what they've done is they've essentially lifted the speed limit, which was V sub H of 120 knots, right? Max continuous power. They've said, well, that doesn't really matter. Let's limit it to 250 in case somebody figures out a way to go really fast, but they don't think they're going to go that fast. They probably won't.
They still have to meet like stall requirements.
Yes.
But weight requirements are not.
No, the weight will be naturally limited based on the stall requirements and the fact that you can only have 4 seats.
Right.
I think they figure that you can't really go above 2,500 pounds, but there's not an actual limit in print.
Well, that's a big change, huge change.
It is a big change, and also some what we call aerial work will be allowed now more than before. It used to be that a special light sport aircraft, one that had proven to meet the ASTM developed standards, could be used for flight instruction and rental, and that was about it. Otherwise, it was just for personal use. So now, seeing that that's a pretty rigorous application, flight instruction, compared to a lot of other things you can do with an airplane, and they've done pretty well in that application. So they're opening it up. They're going to allow more aerial photography. They're going to allow banner towing. They're going to allow things like glider towing, things that a lot of these light sport type airplanes have proven to be good at. And so they're opening up just slowly the aerial work that they are allowed to do for hire.
Wow. I mean, it's kind of surprising that the FAA is changing that far, that quick.
Well, it is.
Well, I guess it hadn't been quick.
It hasn't been quick, but they've given it a lot of time to see how the first light sport rules went and how the first ASTM standards were, and they've gone quite well. And I think they're doing the right thing to expand it now. Again, these new standards, which are being redone and developed through the ASTM process, it's all being paid for by the industry, so not by the taxpayer, not by the government. So the present administration likes that approach, and other administrations have also liked it. So all these standards are being redone and developed by the industry. I mean, private individuals, engineers, pilots, aircraft designers, flight instructors all coming together, maintenance people, to develop these standards for these aircraft to be built to and maintained to and operated to. It's really remarkable. I mean, it costs a lot of money. These people are all traveling to these meetings, paying for their own airfare, their own hotel, their own rental cars, and taking their time. And a lot of companies are paying engineers and staffers to go to these, and it's all being done at the cost of the industry.
Yeah, so I guess you're probably one of those guys traveling around helping them, aren't you?
I've been to most of the in-person meetings, and I've got one of my engineers going to help and be involved. Yep.
So ultimately, what this is bringing about, which is something that's desperately needed, is affordability. I mean, to a point.
That is the key. That is the key. So, we've seen the cost of a 172 go from. What was it, maybe $175,000 in 2000 when they put it back in production to well over $600,000 now.
Yeah.
And so these aircraft have gotten very expensive and beyond the reach of most people. And to certify to the ASTM standard, or to prove compliance is the term they use, with the ASTM standard, which the FAA does approve those standards. They're involved with the process as well. They have input. If they don't like something, they'll say, hey, we'd like you to see you change that. But it's usually just one guy there. And so, again, minimal involvement. But they approve the standards, and then the industry has to comply with them. And so, yeah, it's working. It's worked very well.
Well, so that's what a huge step in the right direction. I mean, because it is affordability, like you say, $600,000 for a 172 is.
Yep. We think it could be as little as 10% the cost to certify to the ASTM standard versus Part 23.
Okay. And Part 23, for anybody that doesn't know, that's a regular certified aircraft, a Piper,
It's very, very expensive and very challenging to comply with that standard. Especially since that standard has morphed into something that includes light jets. So there's a lot of complexity in it that is really not needed for a single engine piston airplane or even a small twin. So they have recognized that, and these standards are focused just on the types of aircraft that will be complying.
So another neat thing about this, as you were explaining it to me, is this new Mosaic standard will be considered still light sport, and a light sport mechanic, not a full A&P, can work on these and ultimately annual them?
Yeah, so the FAA is approving this light sport repairment. They already have approved the light sport repairment certificate, but now you'll have to reapply because you're going to have to probably include a few more things in the training curriculum. But if you get a light sport repairment certificate now, you will be able to work on and sign off an annual condition inspection on experimental amateur build aircraft that meet as well as any special light sport aircraft that meets the new Mosaic standard. So, yeah, it's a big expansion of what a light sport repairman can do.
And so let's talk about it for somebody interested in that, maybe a young person. Like now, the cost to become an A&P and the time, do you know what that is off the top of your head? I mean,
well, one of the schools that we hire quite a few A&Ps out of, NAA, near Tampa, quite good school. I think it's about $40,000 to go through that school now.
And how long does that take?
18 months.
18 months, $40,000 for 18 months. Now, let's talk about this new version of light sport mechanic.
Yeah,
if you were starting from scratch, how much and how long?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, 75. It's going to be probably 75% less, more than that maybe. And you're talking about potentially like a 4-week course.
So 10 grand in 4 weeks versus.
Or less, yeah.
Or versus 40 grand in 18 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a lot less. So a kid out of high school that's mechanically inclined, sharp kid, could go get their light sport repairman certificate and actually go to work with the ability to sign off their work and sign off an annual condition inspection, get paid, and then work towards their full A&P.
So, because while they're doing that's apprenticeship towards your A&P hours,
absolutely.
Because they've got to have so many hours.
And the difference is when you get an A&P, you're really studying a very wide range. I mean, because you're licensed then to work on jet turbines, there's so many pressurized aircraft, so much. And so you have to learn a lot of things that if you're just going to work on small, 2 and 4 seat piston powered airplanes, you don't need all that information initially.
Right.
And so what this light sport repairman certificate does is it focuses on just the things that you're going to need to know to work on those types of airplanes. So it's easier for the kids or the students to absorb it, to learn just the things they need. It's easier to teach it, more efficient, and boom.
And they get out there earning money quicker.
Right away, yeah.
And I would assume with this new Mosaic thing, the demand for that light sport mechanic is going to go way up.
I think it will, and that's why we're looking to build a new technical center in Sebring.
And that's where I was headed.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, that's your vision, that's your belief, and you're putting your money where your mouth is. I mean, you're going to open one in Sebring.
Yes.
And what's your timeline on that?
Well, hopefully in the next year. We're going to build a new facility from scratch, so we've got to get that all approved, and we've already picked a site, and we're working with the airport and the contractor.
I was going to say, be on the airport down there?
Yes, be right next to our current facility.
Oh, okay.
So, dedicated hangar and classroom, and everything we need to do it right. So we're excited about that. We'll also continue to teach the Rotax dedicated training, and that can be for individuals, it can be for A&P mechanics, it can be for light sport, because we will do the light sport training, and then we'll have more Rotax training that they can get separately. Okay,
so once you get that up and running, you start a class every 60 days? Is that? Can you get 6 classes in a year?
We hope so, yeah.
Is that what you're targeting?
I think we can, yeah.
Well, that would be, golly, it's just such a short timeline to get out and make money and then learn while you're, getting
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for people that want to change a career, but especially young kids coming out of high school. They want a trade where they can earn a good living. I mean, they can start out making a really good hourly wage, and they're learning.
Right. So anybody watching this that wants to contact you or learn more about this, even though it's a year away, because you may end up with a waiting list. How do they get in touch with you? You got a website? You got a...
Sure. Well, they can go to our main website, lockwoodaviation.com.
Lockwood
or actually, it's
Aviation.
lockwoodaviation.aero. I forget, we don't use the .com. We use the AERO. .aero.
So it's lockwoodaviation.aero.
Yeah.
AERO.
Yep.
No .coms anymore.
No .coms. Well, there are, but not for us. Everything we do is .aero.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a good suffix, I think.
Yeah. If you Google Lockwood Aviation, you're going to find us.
You're going to find us.
We're pretty easy to find. We've been around for a while.
Write that down if you're thinking this might be a good idea for you, Lockwood Aviation, and learn more about that. So the other thing I know we want to talk about is there's a new Rotex engine out. Well, is it new?
It's relatively new. The 916 is their most recent engine, also the most powerful engine that they've built so far, 160 horsepower for takeoff. And it's a very technologically advanced engine. They offer it as a ASTM compliant engine, because all those airplanes that are going to be built to the special light sport standards, to the ASTM standards, they have to comply with the ASTM engine standard. And the 916, as well as all the other 9 series engines do, but they also offer it in a FAR 33 certified version, so it can be used in a Part 23 airplane as well. But that engine, probably the most technologically advanced piston aircraft engine in the world today.
Really?
It's turbocharged, fuel injected, it's all computer controlled, can be
electronic ignition.
Yes, can be single lever, or you can have two levers, the prop control and the throttle. But in any case, the mixture is controlled for you. It will run lean a peak automatically.
Really?
As soon as it knows it's safe, it just goes lean a peak.
No kidding.
You see the fuel burn tumble. It's got a huge turbocharger, so it can maintain max continuous power up to about 19,000 feet. Not max continuous cruise. Maximum takeoff power, it can maintain up to about 15,000 feet. So basically, any airport in the U.S. on the hottest day, you have full power for takeoff.
Wow, that's
yeah, and
that's a turbocharger.
Yeah, the turbocharger, big turbocharger, and the redundancy is really phenomenal. So you've got 2 injectors per cylinder, 2 separate electronic injectors.
Okay.
Of course, 2 spark plugs, 2 ignition systems, 2 computer systems that run what we call lanes. So 1 set of injectors, 1 set of plugs, and then the other one running the other set. So total redundancy there. And then 2 electric fuel pumps, a main and a backup.
Okay. So on that engine, 160 horse, what are we burning an hour? I don't know, what,
when
run them at 80% power?
Yeah, running it at what we call max eco, which is probably about 75% power.
Okay.
It's about 8.5 gallons an hour.
8.5 gallons. And it says here on an RV9A, what kind of airspeed you getting with that?
We can do 190 knots true airspeed in an RV9 with the gear down. It's always down. And it makes for a very capable airplane.
And that's a 2-place, right?
It's a 2-place. The one that we're flying, and we did our initial testing on, 750-pound useful load, 100-pound capacity in the baggage compartment, big baggage compartment, plenty of room for, I'm 6'3", I fit in it quite comfortably. So it's a pretty useful airplane and great performance.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, and even, we have a video we did showing how it performs at Telluride.
Oh, wow.
With the normally aspirated airplane, the Lycoming powered one, as a comparison. It's a whole different airplane.
Yeah, that's night and day, I bet.
Yeah, the safety aspect is really incredible because in Telluride, it's pretty much considered to be a one-way in, one-way out strip, right? You come in landing to the east and you take off to the west, and it's kind of in a box. It's boxed in by mountains with that airplane.
At an altitude of what, 11,000 feet?
It's like 9,060 feet, I think, above sea level.
Up there.
When we were out there,
hopefully the sun's not shining.
Yeah, well, the sun
degrees.
in the afternoon we were looking at like 12,000 foot density altitude, but we could take off towards the mountains, towards the east, and clear them. It wasn't even close. I mean, it wasn't even a worry.
No kidding.
No, it climbs.
Wicked climber.
Yep.
Even at that altitude, in heat.
Yeah, you can be full gross. You don't worry about it. It's just incredible.
That's great. That is great. Well, it's amazing what they've done with those small engines, because they're smaller. They'll fit in.
Very compact, very smooth. Once you're up into the operating range, and they're being adopted. I mean, Cub Crafters has got them in their their new UL. Very popular. I mean, Rands is putting it in their latest airplanes. I mean, you see it going everywhere. Tecnam, it's becoming very, very popular.
Well, it's been fun to watch it evolve. I mean, I started aviation a little over 20 years ago, and I remember seeing it. And to be honest with you, I wasn't that impressed. I just wasn't. But that kind, 160 horse, with all that technology in it, that's impressive. It kind of changes my way of thinking, and should change a lot of people's way of thinking. And the new Mosaic rules, you got that nice engine. The world is changing.
It is, and Mosaic is going to help us keep the cost down. It's all relative of factory-built airplanes that are planes that people really want to buy.
So we got about 30, 45 seconds left. Anything else you want to finish with in that amount of time?
We do offer those engine training courses. I think for anyone who wants to work on their own engine, or an AMP that wants to work on other engines, it's for safety's sake, it's great to get that training. We have a really good instructor, and we have good tech support. So if you have a problem, don't hesitate to give us a call, email us, and we'll try and help you. We'll do our best to try and sort out what your problem is and make sure you can fly safely. I tell people, you know, I tell my guys in the shop, because mostly it's people bringing stuff in that has a problem and broken, and I tell them, look, I see stuff in the field, and you know, even people that do so many things wrong, they don't have any problems. Just remember that.
Well, Phil, thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can get Wings credit for this show. The information will be in the credits. And I am Joel Hargis with the Florida Aviation Network here in Lakeland, Florida for the 52nd. Beautiful day. Come on out.